playoff win. Many wondering if Lamar can finally get the Ravens to the promised land in just his 4th season. The only thing stopping him, opposing defenses, which, as he'll tell you, still haven't figured him out yet. Take a listen.
Unnamed team officials said that this was the year that people were going to be able to figure out Lamar Jackson. I don't know, have you heard? Did you hear that, or what would your reaction be about him hearing that?
I mean, I'm gonna keep playing football. We're gonna see, but I doubt it, dude. I doubt it. I strongly doubt it.
First of all, can I just say Lamar looks jacked coming into this season. Look, we talk so much about his run game, but since 2019, look at this. Lamar, 5th in pass touchdowns and passer rating. Only Aaron Rodgers has more total touchdowns. So, Nick, what do you make of Lamar saying that he strongly doubts the league will figure him out this season?
Yeah, I agree with Lamar, and I mean, Lamar's been playing football for nearly 20 years now, and no one at any level has ever figured him out. His Pop Warner highlights are unbelievable. His high school highlights are legendary. He won a Heisman Trophy in college, and he won a unanimous league MVP his first full year as a starter. So people haven't figured out Lamar Jackson ever in the past. I don't know why they would in the future. This, to me, is always a little coded language, right? When they say we're going to figure him out, what people are really saying is the way he plays quarterback is not exactly how, in your mind's eye, you think a quarterback should play, and that's not going to be sustainable. But does Lamar need to improve in certain areas? Absolutely, but that's a different discussion. But as long as Lamar is healthy and keeps this level of athleticism, which probably is not going to be the case a decade from now, but certainly will be the case this season, barring an injury, there is no reason to believe he is about to be figured out. Lamar Jackson's problem, and I joked about it with the Josh Allen commentary, but it's true. Lamar Jackson's problem is the same problem for every single quarterback in the AFC. They can't beat Mahomes, but he can beat everybody else. And so I don't think all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is the year where Lamar Jackson becomes an average quarterback. There's no step of his football life where he has been an average quarterback, Stink.
Yeah, you know, you're 100% right. I mean, I think when you talk about the fact that has the league figured Lamar Jackson out? Well, yeah, they know exactly what Lamar Jackson is. But figuring him out and actually stopping that offense and stopping him are two exceptionally different things. I mean, Lamar Jackson, for me, is like in a league of absolute freak show athletes, he is the freakiest of all freaks. The guy is unstoppable. He's unbelievable. And what they've done and what John Harbaugh and that staff with you know, the offense and the defense, they've created this unbelievably complimentary football team, and they have done such a good job of setting him up and playing to his strengths. And because of the way they run the ball, because of the number counts that they get, they're always in an advantage number count wise, and because of that, they're constantly doing, when they throw the ball, they're getting in one-on-one coverage situations for Lamar, and he is throwing the ball exceptionally well in those situations. So, like, that's not going to stop. That's not going to change because of his gift as an athlete and the way they have set up that offense.
So, Stink, I'm expecting a brand new sort of high-powered Ravens offense, because there was an old adage, who was the only person to hold Michael Jordan under 20 points, and it was Dean Smith. So I think the only person that can really stop Lamar Jackson is the Ravens' offensive minds who are calling the plays. When we look at percentage of running plays, the Ravens have been #1 and #2 over the last 2 years. #3 were the Patriots. We didn't throw the ball at all last year. So what did the Patriots go and do after not throwing the ball? Went and reloaded the entire offense. And that's what I expect the Ravens sort of have cued us into. They went and got Rashad Bateman, who's going to be a monster. He's hurt right now, but he was a monster in Minnesota. And I expect Marquise Brown, who's also a #1 pick, to finally get some more targets. The guy had only 100 targets last year. It's around 40th in the league. So when you have your #1 guy getting the 40th most targets in the league, it makes me think, we have another lever we can pull. Why don't we throw the ball more? So, Mark, the question for you is this. Do you expect the Ravens to say, like, hey, ain't broke, don't fix it. Lamar went 30-7 with us running the ball a little bit more. Or do you think they're going to just air it out, since we had last year be sort of a historical offensive throwing the ball year, that the Ravens start to follow a trend and stop zigging so much?
I don't expect them to change a whole lot. I think they continue the progress of Lamar Jackson. I think they continue to build into that passing game. But let's make no mistake about it. What they do offensively, the complementary football that they play, is how they win football games. And that's not going to change. You're not all of a sudden going to become, hey, let's air this thing out and ruin that formula. Because, frankly, the reason Lamar or one of the main reasons that Lamar is so good in the passing game is because he constantly gets one-on-one matchups. You're basically, based on the way you run the football, based upon the way that you orchestrate your offense and you run your play action, defenses are forced to give you one look. So you're playing an 8-man front. You're playing a lot of man coverage because they're trying to stop and get extra defenders against the run. When the Ravens struggle is when they fall behind and they get out of that formula, because now all of a sudden teams can play them differently and say, hey, we're going to play soft coverage and we're going to make Lamar throw layered throws, not just one-on-one matchups, but all of a sudden our underneath coverage is going to get some depth and you're going to have to throw it, over a linebacker, over the underneath coverage, in front of the safeties, in front of the corners, and those throws are not where he has excelled. And you see that come playoff times when they lose games. So to me, the biggest thing is stick with the formula, because nobody can defend it right now, because we win number counts. We get half a field, we get extra guys over there, and we're 6-on-4, we're 6-on-5, and Lamar is running the football. And I don't know why you would ever get away from that except for injury. And so far, he's been able to maintain a certain amount of health. And talking to John Harbaugh about Lamar, he's like, I was concerned at first, but the bottom line is he's got a great ability athletically to protect himself. And the bottom line is he takes about the same number of hits as a drop-back quarterback does during the course of a game, because he is so elusive. So they're going to stick with it. I can't see them changing a whole lot. They want to progress and they want to grow their quarterback, because everybody does. But the bottom line is they're going to continue to do what they do to win.
And as far as health goes, Jenna's point at the very top, he's not a small guy. I mean, he's big, thick. Doesn't have quite, he stinks 22-inch neck, but he's got a big neck on him. Like he's got, I mean, and so he can take some of the punishment. But Lamar Jackson conversations always feel a little. Yeah, I'm a big neck size thing. I mean, it's why I'm very high on Trevor Lawrence, but it doesn't matter.
They say big neck, big tie.
So here's the thing.
They say that.
There you go. So here's the thing, though. The Lamar Jackson conversation always feels like folks leave a little bit unsaid because, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. No right-minded individual wants to be lumped in with the harshest Lamar Jackson critics. Like, here's a little Lamar Jackson Twitter challenge for you. Find the people who are reacting to this segment or other ones like it, the most negative about Lamar, click on their profile. You are 7 tweets away from a horse dewormer essay. Like, you don't want to be in that group of people. So it's like, I really want to support Lamar. And so people don't say what is also true. He needs to get better as a passer. Is he a bad passer? No. But if he were a dynamic passer, he would be the best player in the league by a mile. Because we have never seen, including our dear friend Michael Vick, a quarterback with his 1 out of a billion athleticism. And so why is he, somewhere between the 5th and the 7th best quarterback in football when he is the best athlete who's ever played the position?
Because of his passing.
Because he does struggle with some of the higher level throws. Now, our great statistician Dusty has showed me how he's gotten better year by year on throws to the sideline. I think the Ravens could do better by not having it be, hey, Willie Snead's your #1 option, and Hollywood Brown. And to Wild's point, they did that by adding Bateman. And so they are trying to work towards that. What I do wonder, because Stink, what you basically said is it ain't broke, don't fix it. Are you willing to maybe take a slight step back in the regular season to work through some things so you are in a better position for the postseason. I used to say on this show, the Lamar Jackson comp is Giannis. Unstoppable in the regular season, but has a hole in his game that's going to limit you in the postseason. What did you see this year, by the way, from the Bucks? They took a step back in the regular season. They worked through some things. They didn't win 60-plus games, and they were more prepared for the postseason. That's, to me, a question for Greg Roman and John Harbaugh. Are you just trying to go 14-3 and get the 1 seed, or are you okay with maybe 11-?